What's up, guys? What's up, middle schoolers? It's Blake. I'm back, and I got another message concluding this series, this 5-part series. We're coming to a close. I know, sad. We've loved reading about Joseph, but we've got some really good stuff today. I hope you guys had a great Mother's Day. I hope you guys were able to honor your mothers, celebrate your moms, tell them how much they mean to you, and just love on them and love on all the other moms who've influenced you. I know that we had a really special day here at my house, and I hope you guys did also. We can't wait to meet again with you guys. We're working on some stuff, but hopefully it's sooner rather than later. We've been praying for you guys, and we just can't wait to see you. With that being said, let's jump right into the message. Here we go. So in this series, we're talking about Joseph, right? Someone who had a lot of crazy and unbelievable things happen to him. But we see that all along, God was working toward a bigger picture in his life. Even when Joseph couldn't see it himself. Have you ever tried to get payback on someone? Well, for me, I remember there was one time when I played sports, I was very aggressive. I didn't like, getting hit or anything. And one time, one of my friends got hit from behind while I was playing hockey. He got hit into the boards. He was hurt. And I'm like, I'm going to get payback on this guy. And I went straight after him. The guy who hit my teammate hit him from behind, and I ended up getting kicked out of the game, right? So payback isn't always worth it. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more. We've all had someone do something to us, say something about us, or treat us in a way that makes us want one thing, and that's payback, right? We have the power to pay back, and sometimes that payback is, well, it's public. We do something directly and openly to the person who wronged us. Or it's passive. We do something less obvious and more subtle to the person who wronged us. Or we do it in our heads, right? We actually haven't taken payback on that person, but we think about it a lot. While payback may feel fair, it's not good, and it's definitely not what's best for us. In Genesis, we read that after Joseph was put in charge of food distribution in Egypt, his brothers came to him for help because they were starving from the famine. And they didn't even recognize Joseph. How crazy is that? They didn't recognize their own brother. When Joseph revealed his identity, though, to his brothers, he could have chosen to get payback and let them starve. But instead, Joseph chose peace and forgiveness. We read about Joseph's peace and forgiveness in Genesis 45, 1-5, and verses 10-11. It says, "Then Joseph could not control himself before all those who stood by him. He cried, 'Make everyone go out from me.' So no one stayed with him when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he wept aloud, so that the Egyptians heard it, and the household of Pharaoh heard it. And Joseph said to his brothers, 'I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?' But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed at his presence. So Joseph said to his brothers, 'Come near to me, please.' And they came near, and he said, 'I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into slavery, into Egypt. And now do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life.' And then in verse 10-11 it says, 'You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me, you and your children and your children's children, and your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. There I will provide for you, for there are yet 5 years of famine to come, so that you and your household and all that you have do not come to poverty.'" Just like Joseph, when we can't see the bigger picture, we can choose to forgive. There may be details of a bigger picture we can't see or understand, but we can still have a choice: forgiveness. When someone wrongs us, we can choose to either build a bridge to reconnect with them, or we can tear the bridge down, destroying the relationship. And that's not what we want. We can begin to choose forgiveness by doing a couple things. The first is starting small. We can practice extending grace, forgiveness, and peace to others in small ways so that it will be easier to do when bigger things come our way. We can also forgive first. We don't have to wait for an apology. We can make the first move and forgive the person who wronged us so that we can move on. And then we can pursue forgiveness. We can't control others, but we can control how we treat them in response. We can choose forgiveness instead of payback. Through all of the crazy experiences Joseph went through in his life, he couldn't see the bigger picture, but he trusted God, and eventually everything was made right. And the same can be true in our own lives. We can close out our conversation today about forgiveness. Think about this. What's the hardest thing about choosing forgiveness? For some, it might be acknowledging that you're forgiving someone who hurt you. Or maybe it's hard to choose forgiveness because you just don't think it's fair to forgive that person. There's lots of reasons why we might not think we should forgive someone, but we're called to forgive. So I pray that your small group leaders can lead you and help you forgive someone who you need to forgive this day, on this Tuesday, or whatever day you're watching this video. Jesus loves you guys. Everyone here at The Rock loves you guys. We can't wait to meet again. We'll see you soon. Have a great week. Bye.